Hi guys, welcome to a very special episode of Fitness Factor Fiction. I am Adam Abuchi, and today I'm with a good friend of mine, Mr. David Coker.
What's up? What's up?
And I wanted to talk to David and share with you guys my experience and my knowledge with intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting has been a very fascinating subject as far as fat loss and weight loss goes in the fitness industry, and it's gained a lot of popularity. And, you know, David, you've tried it. How did it work for you?
Oh, it worked fantastic for me. I got down, I was really looking to get lean, and I got down to about 163. And
that's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I did that a lot with vegetables and all that type of stuff, and a lot of, incorporating certain workouts around the intermittent fasting. But I think this is going to be a great opportunity to do this video, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are kind of curious about it, and a lot of people are very stuck on the old school ways of like how to eat and time stuff. And I think this will be really good just for people who are just curious about it. Because I got a few questions myself. You're the expert,
absolutely, yeah. So let me just tell you like how I came to enjoy intermittent fasting. I grew up in Lebanon, and I was raised Muslim. So we were doing Ramadan, growing up, and that was like a form of fasting, but it was like more for religious purposes than anything. And as I grew older, I started caring less about that aspect of things, and I started caring more about like health and fitness and being in shape. And I started noticing that if you don't overeat, you actually can lose weight from fat during the fast. So I started thinking, like, how can I optimize this? And mind you, like, this was around 2003, 2004. Intermittent fasting didn't start becoming a thing in the fitness industry until like maybe 2010. So you can legitimately say that I was thinking ahead of my time, and not just thinking, I started looking. I'm like, okay, I was already in the fitness realm, lifting, doing martial arts. I had a lot of friends that were competitive bodybuilders, a lot of friends that were competitive fighters. So I started picking their brains, like, hey man, how do you work out when it's Ramadan? How do you eat when it's Ramadan? How do you do this? I took everything that they said, the good, the bad, and the stuff that makes no sense at all, and I processed it, and I came up with what I felt were good strategies to try. And from the stuff that I came up with, I refined what works and what doesn't. And my findings were that if you want to maximize your fat loss during an intermittent fasting regimen, you have to train when you're fasting. Like, you can't wait until you're fed and then work out, because that defeats the purpose. Like, if you are doing intermittent fasting, it's part of the, optimization of that experience to work out when you're fasting. And here's the thing. You want to try and do cardio and weights, not necessarily in the same session or like back to back, but in your regimen. Again, like if let's say you're lifting 3 times a week, you want to do cardio another 3 times of the week, and that will allow you to still, get the best of both worlds from the regimen and lose the body fat and still progress. Another thing that I found was that yes, you can gain muscle on an intermittent fasting regimen, but it's not ideal. Like, the fact that you can't be fueling yourself 24/7 takes away from your ability. It doesn't blunt it entirely, but it does take away from your ability to gain muscle at your maximum capacity. So if you're trying to build as much muscle as you can, intermittent fasting, save it for later. It's a very useful tool for body fat loss.
Okay.
It's very useful, and even if you want to lose weight, because like fat loss and weight loss, in my humble opinion, are not necessarily tied together.
Right.
So you, if your goal is mainly fat loss, then it's great. Make sure that your macros are in order. And when I say macros, please, you guys, don't think that I'm promoting like if it fits your macros. No, I promote eating healthy, clean foods, not Pop-Tarts if they fit in your macros. Okay, but that's the fat loss. Now, if you want to lose weight, then you need to get into caloric restriction. Caloric restriction is not a must for fat loss. And I'll say this, and like a lot of people will disagree with me, and like, you know what? I have the experience, and the first-hand experience, not just the experience of like watching other people and training other people. I have the first-hand experience and the hands-on experience with other people to say that fat loss is not a must to be contained with caloric restriction. Weight loss is though. Okay, so if we're talking about caloric restriction in intermittent fasting, it's easier to restrict calories because you have less of an eating window to do that in. Now, what do you do as far as like, when you start and end your eating windows? Well, you want to break your fast with stuff that digests fast. So, fast digesting carbs like high glycemic index carbs, stuff that's sugary, fruit, even candy. It's not ideal candy, but fruit is a better option. With stuff like whey protein, any kind of protein that's gonna like digest fast, that's the best thing that you would be breaking your fast with.
Right.
Now, the stuff that you're gonna have like as the last caloric consumption before you start your fast, you want the exact opposite. You want stuff like casein protein, any like milk derived type protein, unless you're sensitive to milk or dairy products. That's a different story. But if you digest milk and dairy products well, casein protein or like milk protein, cheese, yogurt, that's good stuff to consume. Healthy fats, olive oil, avocados, any kind of healthy fat source, because both protein and fat are very satiating. So you want them to sit in your stomach and fuel your body with amino acids and the kind of fat your body can actually use, not like store as adipose tissue, and let that fuel you and keep you going throughout your day. That's the nutritional strategy that we need to